In today's video, we're going to talk about the super swing screen, which I think is something you can utilize against man blitz or zone blitz defenses to keep your opponents from being so darn aggressive. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Zan for the ZanMan YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about makeshift swing screens. Now, I think that these are something you can utilize in Madden no matter what blitz style defense your opponent is in. But in today's video, I'm going to show you guys kind of how to know exactly what route combo you should utilize if you want a given outcome, because it can be a little bit random. One thing you guys may have noticed this year is that players will sometimes chuck slot blitzers off the line. And this can actually be really beneficial for giving you time, but it can also hinder the performance of a tactic like this if you're trying to get the ball to the running back and you're expecting a player to be a little bit further downfield against a given coverage. A chuck against zone might be great, but you might want that tight end to get out there right away against man-to-man coverage. So let's go ahead and break this down. We're going to be talking about the $326. And obviously we know this meta very well at this point. It's DB Fire 2, it's Spinner, and we'll start off with zone. But real quick before we do this tip, can you guys do me a favor? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop a comment below. It can be an emoji, literally anything that you're thinking can help this video in the algorithm to reach other Madden players just like you. In this video, I'm going to be running the tight doubles, which is found in the Rams playbook, the Vikings playbook, which is the home to my X Nasty game plan on gridirongameplans.gg. Go check it out if you guys are struggling with this game, especially against the man coverage meta out of nickel normal or dollar. But tight doubles can also be found in other formations in the game. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be showing you guys how to kind of know what route combo to utilize against this meta. Now, most players will typically come out in dollar base aligned and pressed. Now, what's really cool about this formation is that if you put the tight end on a flat in this formation, he will actually jam the slot corner that is blitzing before he releases out into the flat. So what we'll do is we'll put basically two flat routes on this side of the field with a swing pattern. And I think the swing pattern is really useful against zone. And the reason for that is that the running back gets more bubble depth, or basically more of an arc on his route out into the flat behind the blockers that we're trying to set up. And what you're going to do is you're just going to freeform past this, basically up and inside, to lead him into the blockers and catch yourself a nice little gain. If you want that backside drag and you're 100% certain that it is zone, go ahead and leave that, because he can pick off some defenders that might be pursuing from the middle of the field once the ball comes out of the quarterback's hand. However, if it's man-to-man, you're not going to want to draw another man coverage defender into the play, because that's going to give you less room after the catch to cut inside or outside. We'll get to man coverage here momentarily. But what we're going to do is we're going to snap this ball, let that jam happen, and throw this little swing to the outside. You see how we're able to catch blocks down the sideline against this cover 2 blitz. So this is something that can be really beneficial to the way that you're setting this up. Again, flat, swing route. And if you know 100% that it's zone, bring somebody from the backside. Heck, even bring two guys from the backside. That'll help you out down the field. So maybe I run something that looks like this. And again, you snap the ball, let that jam happen, throw the free form up the field. Now you've got a ton of bodies down the field to be able to make one guy miss. If you can usually make that one safety miss, you might be looking at a house call. So this is something that's really, really potent out of a 2x2 type formation. However, when your opponent is in man-to-man coverage, like Spinner, for instance, a lot of times what ends up happening is this safety is the one that is in man-to-man coverage on him, which means that if this tight end is busy jamming this slot corner, that's going to allow this guy to get down into the play a lot more quickly, and that's going to make this tough on you after the catch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to illustrate what not to do here against Spinner. So what most players will do is, again, they're going to be base align and press. They're typically going to be lurking on, this linebacker here. A lot of times they're not ready for the quick pass. They kind of just, some people will kind of do this and stand over the nose tackle, whatever it is they want to do, right? But if I go ahead and I go flat swing route, what you're going to see is that Higbee is going to jam that slot corner, but that safety is going to fly down and really screw this up for us. Or you see right here, this actually worked out to our benefit, but there's a lot of times where that jam animation occurs and you don't want that. You want that tight end right out in the pattern right away. And if he doesn't, get into that pattern right away because he's busy, blocking the slot corner or whatever, that can actually be really, really bad for you. So if you get something like that and you try to throw that, you see how that safety is right there. That's going to be a problem. So you don't want that tight end getting that animation. So what we're going to do to make sure that this rarely occurs is we are actually going to go ahead and put the wide receiver on an out route. Don't ask me why, but for some reason when the wide receiver is on an out route and the tight end is on a flat, especially against man-to-man, I will start to use the quick wheel. And the reason for that is basically this guy will kind of run a vertical release on the out route, which I don't know if that like widens the slot corner blitzing off the edge so Higbee doesn't block him. But a lot of times we'll just go ahead and just go bang like this. And you'll see that that puts us in a spot where both bodies are actually in a spot where they can kind of just glance into their man-to-man coverage. So yes, this is a little bit of a guessing game, a little bit of a predetermined read, but this is enough a lot of times to kind of make your opponents think twice about, you know, how much spinner they want to run, because if their user has to be down here right away at the snap, that's going to take away their ability to cover the middle of the field out of such an aggressive defense, which is really what most players want to do when they're in this. So the reason I'm kind of putting him in a spy, or even I can put him in a hook curl, is to kind of mimic the user hanging out there. So again, here you snap this ball, kind of just freeform this outside. You see that we catch those blocks, and we are off for a nice little gain. So this is something pretty decent that you can run out of a 2x2. Now, if you guys want to, you guys can actually do this out of a lot of other sets. It's probably better from shotgun if we're being totally honest, just because the offset running back creates a little bit of an extra step for any backside man coverage to chase him in the event that maybe a backside safety or a backside linebacker is on him in man-to-man. So let me give you another example. For instance, we might call like tight flex, for instance. This is not the same as tight doubles, but pretty close, right? So we'll start off with DB Fire 2. We'll press. And again, here in this situation, you're going to go flat, flat, swing. And then if you know it's zone, bring those bodies from the backside. And you're just going to go ahead and snap this ball and kind of throw this out here, catch your blocks. You see that we're basically gone. Right there, Cooper Kupp missed somebody, but you know, had he just gotten even a slight chip on him, we're gone. One play score easily. Super, super easy. If they're in spinner, you know, again, pay attention to what formation, you know, you're in and whether or not the tight end flat chips. You'll want to pay attention to that. So if I'm doing something like this, for instance, I'm definitely going to have the out and the flat and the wheel, but I don't want those backside players bringing their man into the equation. Again, we're going to snap this ball, get the ball out quickly, and you're looking for one block from the tight end, and you could potentially be gone. So again, super, super valuable. You need to have this in your offense no matter what it is. Now, if you guys are under center, wanting to run something like this, again, kind of the same mentality. Obviously, I'm in the nasty. So if I know for a fact that I'm getting zone, this can be something that can work for you. So again, here, if I wanted to go basically flat, 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 swing, you know, we could do this, right? It's just a little bit more challenging. You know, you got to throw the ball out here and you got to get some blocks. See how that dynamic changes when you're under center? It doesn't feel the same, right? It's not impossible, but it's tougher. It's definitely tougher. Also with this user too, you know, it depends on if the user can sniff it out. So in a situation like this, I would like a backside slant with flat, flat, flat. And then, I don't know, honestly, I think you got to use the swing and you got to freeform it up the field. You know, and that could be tough. That could be tough because that guy doesn't get out and turn up the sideline for us quickly enough. And it's kind of a touchy pass. I can't lie. Under center's tough. It is very, very tough. If you can wait, and then throw it, you know, great. You know, you see that, you know, it sets up okay for you. We can go ahead and get that ball out, but you got to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, which is tougher to do under center. If you're going to do this out of an under center set, I think really what you need to do is go to a set where if you can motion your running back, they will offset is kind of like a running back that looks like this. That will put you right back in action where this will play very similar to kind of the the shotgun version of this. So you could go ahead and do you know, something a little bit more like this, throw the ball out in the flat. You see how that spacing is a lot better when you have an offset running back. Obviously, you could do this out of like offset eye formations as well. If you have a strong or a weak eye fullback, motion a receiver across if it's zone. You can kind of see how this conceptually becomes something that you guys can utilize against blitz heavy metas. So there you guys have it. Makeshift swing screens. These are potent. Obviously, you got to pay attention whether or not your tight end is jamming that slot corner. That's not great for you against man, so you want to change up the way that your routes run, probably put your receiver on an out route so that way he can basically keep that corner from being jammed by the tight end. But this is something, no matter what you run, you need to add to your offense. It's that good. You have to keep your opponent honest with a good screen game. Screens in general in this game are pretty good. Flanker screens are good. Bubble screens not nearly as good. But this makeshift game is actually pretty tough. So I've seen some good players using it. Throw it in your offense. Install it today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a like, subscribe to the channel, drop an emoji, drop a comment. It all helps, man. I really appreciate everybody hanging strong with me here in Madden 23. We're getting through it, man. We're getting through it. But if you guys want more, go to gridirongameplans.gg, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab, and good luck.